I'm here at the Boom Room with Simon Wright for drumline.net. Good time. What is on the horizon for you? What are you up to these days? And tell our viewers out there what you've been up to.
Things are a little bit of hiatus, but we'll be doing the Dio Disciples run again. Some point, I think the beginning of next year, or maybe a little bit into the year, with the hologram that was presented in Germany at Wacken. So that's all in the works at the moment, which is going to be hell of a thing. So I'm excited about that.
Yeah, pretty emotional thing to see that hologram up there on stage, huh?
Yeah, it was.
Technology working in our favor, bringing us the angels. That's really cool. Very cool. Yeah, I'd much rather see the Ronnie James Dio hologram than the Tupac hologram, personally. So in your 20-something year career, there's what's been your career highlight? I know it's a really difficult question, but some people actually have one.
It's been quite a while. I mean, I started when I was young, so I've, been seeing some incredible situations and stuff. With DC, we did a big show. I've mentioned it before. It was Rock in Rio in '85, and that was an enormous amount of people.
400,000.
I think there was like 350,000. That's what I was told, which is a hell of a lot. You don't really get to see them because there's so many of them. It's just went on for days.
50-foot photo pit.
Yeah, something like that. They were both, but it was remarkable. They made a hell of a good sound, and there were other bands playing on that Rio thing as well and stuff. It was a great event. I think they still put it on. Stuff with Ronnie was amazing. We did a Wacken show that was we headlined, cool, and they gave him a lifetime achievement award and stuff. That was a really special moment, And there's a whole bunch of others.
I grew up listening to Dio and to you and Vinny on those records, and for me, just to have your friendship now is actually quite an honor, man. And for you to be here today was really, really cool. I know you're looking at me right now like, what the hell are you talking about? but but the reality is that like some of that material, some of that Dio material was just so fun and so cool and so laid back and had such a great pocket feel, yet there was intricacies in there that if you're not a great drummer, you can't just dismiss it as, oh, this is just 2 and 4, this is just pocket. Like there were little things in there that were so just little hiccup beats, little gallops on the snare, little things like that made those records like drumming records. And having said that, is there a song that stands out for you that is your most fun to play live in regards to Dio?
Yeah, well, that's what I'm trying to say. I mean, there were so many songs that he wrote, like we all know. You've got your Sabbath years, your Rainbow years, Dio, obviously, Dio years. I've always loved Stargazer. I think that's an incredible song. When I first heard that, I was just, blown away. And then there's others like Sign of the Southern Cross, Heaven and Hell. There's just so many.
Nothing sticks out as like that's the one
because there's so many. I mean, he's done albums where it's back to back classics. There's no filler. And those albums are just insane. And it's that those get imprinted on your brain.
The other thing that I think about when I think about Dio is like all the trippy stage show stuff that must have went on, like the rehearsals for like different mechanical things. And does anything stand out? Because I know I saw Craig Goldie battling this mechanical spider. I think it was like this one of the Last in Line tour, maybe.
Yeah, that would be Vinny doing that. But yeah.
Have you seen the mechanical spider?
I have seen it once, I think.
The mechanical spider was like, and then Craig, and then Craig shoots it with like a laser bolt that comes out of his gun. Any interesting, cool stage things that happened?
I was on a like 15, 16-foot riser next to Jens Johansson. He was the keyboard player, and we had there were stairs going up with the whale bones. It was amazing.
Always a dragon.
There were no dragon.
No dragon.
No dragon.
No budget for the dragon at that point. Crystal ball.
That came out from underneath the drum kit. There was like a space underneath the kit, that iron bars that opened up. It was just amazing, really incredible. You know, it goes back to this thing we're doing now. Since Ronnie's unfortunate passing, the hologram. It's like we feel that we were a bit trepidation about it. But if you think about it, it's the same way that he would think. This theatrics and the way he would put on a show. You know, it's high tech. He would have loved this. I mean, really would have, because of his love for the theatrics and the pyro and the whole big show kind of thing. So, you know, that's kind of the vein we're going with this as well.
That's really cool. I remember being at one of the memorials maybe a couple of years ago and hearing all the people speak about him. And man, I never got the pleasure to meet him, but from what I hear from all of his friends and all of his colleagues, he was definitely a one-of-a-kind cat. Never met him, no.
He'd have liked you, you know. Yeah, you'd have liked him. He's a cool guy.
Just so personable. Like everything that I hear from people, like you see so many up and coming artists and they don't have time for fans, or they talk smack to people. This was a guy that would like remember the names of the children of the fan. You know, oh, how's Susie doing? And the guy would be like, did you just remember my daughter's name?
That's and it was day in, day out. You know, we'd be on the road and we'd be at the bus for like after the show for like 3, 4, 5 hours till he saw everybody and signed everything they wanted, said hello, did voice messages to their family. And this was in like, you know, 0 degrees weather and stuff like this. You know? But he didn't care, you know, he just didn't care. He cared about his voice. He was like, wrap himself up, but he'd still be there, you know, in a blizzard, signing autographs.
That's so cool, man. Well, Simon, man, I want to thank you so much for your time. Thanks for coming to the Boom Room today. Always a pleasure. Simon and I shared the drum throne in a band called Rhino Bucket for a few years, Bino Rucket. He would be off with Dio, and I'd be like, okay, I'll play, and then he'd come back. I'd be like, okay, bye, gig, and then he'd go off with Dio, and I'd come back on. But that was always a fun gig to play. They know what they're doing.
They do know what they're doing.
Sued by AC/DC, I heard. Yeah, initially they got a letter from AC/DC because they said, you sound a lot like us, and it's just not. Maybe we should just sue Rhino Bucket. All right, you guys, thank you so much. Drumline.net, Mr. Simon Wright.